Behavioral management. The school of behavioral management theory involved in recognition of the importance of human behavior in organization. The main contributors was Robert Owen, Max Weber, and others. Weber was a German sociologist writing in the early 19th. Weber developed a theory of authority structures and described organizational activities on the basis of authority relations. He described an ideal type of organization that he called a bureaucracy, a form of organization characterized by division of labor, a clearly defined hierarchy, detailed rules and regulations, and impersonal relationship. Also, the other contributors main contributors Abraham Maslow. He was a humanistic psychologist, proposed a hierarchy of 5 needs: psychological safety, social esteem, and self-actualization. He is operationalized through two principles. The deficit holds that a relatively well satisfied need is not a strong motivator of behavior. The progression principles holds that once a need is fairly well satisfied, behavior is dominated by the next level in the need hierarchy. Also, Mary Parker, she is known in the field of management. She was a social philosopher whose ideas had clear implications for management practice. Her contribution towards the understanding of group is of immense value. She believes that groups were the mechanism through which people could combine their differing talents for the greater good of organization, which defined as the community in which manager and subordinates could work in harmony. The managers and workers should view themselves as partners and as a part of common group. She was convinced that the traditional and artificial distinction between the managers who give the order and the workers who take the orders obscured their natural relationship. Managers should rely more on their expertise and knowledge to lead subordinates on the formal authority of their position. She is very famous woman. Also, George Elton Mayo. Mayo was a professor at the Harvard University Business School. He served as leader of the team which carried out the famous Hawthorne experiment at Hawthorne plant of the Western Electric Company. Mayo discussed in detail the factors that cause a change in human behavior. Mayo's first study involved the manipulation of illumination for one group of workers and comparing their output with that of another group whose elimination was held constant. He concluded that the cause of increase in productivity of workers is not a single factor like changing working hours or reset pause, but a combination of these several other factors. Hugo also known management thinker, developed a psychology laboratory at Harvard University where he studies the application of psychology to organizational setting, psychology and industrial efficiency. He argued for the study of scientific study of human behavior to identify the general patterns and to explain individual differences. Uh, Robert Owen also was a British industrialist who was the first to speak out on behalf of the organization's human resources. He carried out experiments and introduced many social forms. He believed that workers' performance were influenced by the total environment in which they work. He criticized industrialists who spent huge sums of money repairing their production machines but did little improve the lot of their human machines. This is about the behavioral school of management. Here I would like to make stress on the Douglas MacGregor. He is the best known for his formulation of two sets of assumptions, theory X and theory Y. MacGregor argued that managers should shift their traditional views of man and work, which he termed theory X, to a new human views of man and work, which he termed theory Y. Or theory X and theory Y are very known in the field of management. With the revolutionary change in the application of information technology came the quantitative schools also, which finds its foundation in decision theory. The application of statistics in decision making and the evolution of mathematical econometric models that are retarded by computer technology. This approach is based upon the assumption that mathematical techniques can help the managers in solution of problems. The features of quantitative management school were primary focus on decision making. The end result of problem analysis will include direct implication of managerial action. Based on economic decision theory, final action is chosen criteria are cost, revenue and rates of return on investment. Use of formal mathematical models. Possible solutions to problems are specified as mathematical equation and then analyzed according to mathematical rules and formulas. Frequent use of computers. Heavy reliance is placed on computers and their advanced processing capabilities. The quantitative approach has found favor through the following application: management science, explained later; operations management, it initial the application of quantitative methods to the organizational tasks of production and operational control. The operational management techniques utilizes following basic quantitative techniques. Forecasting is the process by which future predictions are formulated through mathematical computation. Inventory control initial the control of costly inventories through mathematical formulas that determine the proper level of inventory to be maintained as well as the economic quantities to be ordered. Linear programming also involves the use of computation to allocate scarce resources for their optimal use. Networks are complex models such as evaluation, evaluation and review techniques, PAIR, and critical path methods for analyzing, planning, and controlling. Regression analysis, of course, is used to predict the relationship between two or more variables and to determine how change of in one variable might affect other variables. Integration is called. In recent years, an attempt has been made to integrate the classical theories with the modern behavioral and quantitative theories into an overall framework that uses the best of each approach. These approaches assume that there is no best way to manage, and all theories have application to the practice of management. Two such integrative developments are explained as follows. Contingency theory is based on notion that the proper management technique in a given situation depends upon the nature and conditions of situation. The contingency view of management is highlighted. Along with this organizational understanding comes the development of unique behavior. However, there are no universal solution because every problem situation is unique in itself. The contemporary school of management though outlined the framework for studying the more recent standards in management practice, such as the impact of global business. Theory Z concept, McKinsey 7S approach, the search for excellence, and the concern for quality and productivity. Thank you.